family, this is Shaka from Food by Faith. Today I'm bringing you a very quick recipe. Today is kind of cold and rainy here in Georgia, and I decided to make some soup for dinner. I pulled some vegetables out of my garden, washed them up, chopped them up, and put them in the freezer, and decided to make a vegetable soup today. So I wanted to bring you guys along. I know a lot of times especially now during the pandemic, a lot of people have started gardening and they get all this fruit and vegetables, and now they're wondering, well, what do I do with it? I'm tired of eating the same things. So when I do different things, I like to bring you guys along so that you can see there's so many options for those vegetables. So right here, I'm going to show you the vegetables that I have. So I have some potatoes that I grew. I have the zucchini, the green onions, and the carrots. I have 4 cups of chicken stock. I have some parsley that I'm drying out, some oregano, as well as some sage. And I have some black pepper. And you guys know this is how I dry my herbs. I clip them, place them in organza bags, and then I hang them in my kitchen. All right, so in my sauce pot that I have here, I have a tablespoon of butter, and I'm gonna place all my vegetables inside there. You're not really looking to get any color on your vegetables too much. I'm just starting the cooking process, and my chicken stock that I have here is hot. So you can do that ahead of time. You can heat up your chicken stock, or if you don't have any homemade chicken stock and you're using, you don't know which one to use out of the store, this is one that I tend to use. It's called Better Than Bouillon. And you take this concentrate and you mix it with water. I know a lot of people out there, they make their own chicken stock. They roast their chicken bones, use their vegetables from their garden. But if you don't have time, or you don't have any of that stuff around your home, Better Than Bouillon works great. You can also use your canned chicken stocks, as well as your chicken stocks that come in the carton. But just be mindful of the sodium content of all the different types that you choose to use. So in this recipe, I won't use any salt because of the chicken stock. And so you'll see that I have my vegetables, I have my chicken stock. I'm going to put quite a bit of herbs in there, and my potatoes, and then I'm going to do a process with the potatoes as well, but I'm going to bring you guys along with that, and you'll see everything that I'm doing. And as you can see, I started with frozen vegetables, but again, they were from my garden. And when I get my vegetables out of my garden, I try to go ahead, if I'm not going to use them fresh right away, I make sure I wash them up, chop them up, and freeze them up. So I know that we are all coming into our fall gardening season. So in the comments below, guys, let me know what you're growing, what types of soups you would like to see made. And I'll make sure I make a video on it. Yesterday, I harvested my red curry or Hokkaido squash. If you guys remember, these are the seeds that I brought back from Germany. I planted them when I got back in August, and the vines are very prolific, but it doesn't give you a lot of fruit. So next time I do grow, I'm going to grow on a trellis because it took up a lot of real estate in my garden. I just got everything cleaned out yesterday, and I watched the Humble Servants Homestead, really good guy. He's here in Georgia. I watched him, and he staked up his zucchini plant. And so once I cleared out the vines from the red curry squash, I went ahead and took a stake and tied up my zucchini plant. It is still producing. I actually only planted one zucchini plant because, as you guys know, it'll produce and produce and produce. And every week I get at least 3 to 5 zucchini. I take some and then I give some to my sister, so that I don't overload my freezer with that. And as well, I dry them so that later on, same thing with green bells or any type of peppers, I dry them. I dry carrots, I dry the zucchini, and you can use those to make your soups, your stews, as well as your stuffing during the holidays. So guys, our vegetables have now heated up. So as you can see, it's working. We are going to pour our chicken stock in without making a huge mess. And then I'm going to go ahead and add some of our dried herbs. So parsley and basil are my favorite herbs, but for this, I'm going to add parsley, oregano, and my oregano in my garden is so amazing. It has done so very well. This year I haven't been able to get as much parsley as I normally get, but the oregano as well as the sage is doing amazing. And as you can see, I just clip it right off of its vine, and then I hang it to dry. And so I'm just going to crumble some of that sage right in to the pot. I use a lot of sage when I'm making a sage butter sauce, and I make that when I'm making like a ravioli pasta. That tastes really good. So I have this little Ninja blender. One of my girlfriends, Net Grant, she bought me this, oh my gosh, so many years ago. And she asked me when she purchased it, was it a practical gift? And y'all, I think it's been about 10 years that she purchased it for me. So I'm putting about 1/4 teaspoon of pepper. And she purchased it about 10 years ago, and I've been using it ever since. When my kids were smaller, they hated, absolutely hated onions and peppers. So I would use this and I would blend it up, and I would be able to put onions and peppers in things, and they wouldn't be crunching on them. So I took some of my potatoes and I'm going to blend them. With just a little bit of that chicken stock. And guys, the reason why I'm going to do this is because I would like the soup to be a little creamy, but without adding any sort of milk-based product. So if you have any type of issues with any lactose issues or any reasons why you are opting not to drink milk or use any type of creams or anything, this is a good way to add a little creamy texture to your soup. So I have it blended, but I want to blend it just a little bit more. So I need just a little bit more of our stock here. Okay. And guys, this is a step that you can skip if you do not want your soup to have a creamy texture. So here you can see my potatoes all nice and blended up. And we're just going to add that to our soup. And guys, you see how simple this soup is? And this is straight from your garden. I want to get all that goodness out of there. And you guys know anytime that I make a dish, I always let you know the different alternatives. So right now, this is what our soup is looking like. And this is the consistency. I'm going to let it cook down for about 10 minutes without the lid on. And we'll be back. All right, guys, we are back, and you see that our soup is bubbling away. Take a look at that texture. Take a look. So the reason why it looks like that, again, is because remember we blended the potatoes. And what I forgot to tell you guys in the beginning, when I pulled the potatoes from my garden, I washed them up, I chopped them up, and then I steamed them in my Pampered Chef quick cooker, and then I individually quick froze them. So what I did was I laid them out, and you guys have seen me do this before with bananas, but I laid them out on a sheet pan. I froze them, then I scooped them up from the sheet pan and placed them in a Ziploc bag so that they would not be clumped together, and I could use them for so many different things. One for soups, one for roasted potatoes, or I could use them to make potatoes for breakfast. So let's scoop some of this soup up so that you can take a look and we can have a taste. Look at that. Look at all that garden goodness just bubbling away. And guys, you can always add meat to this. You can also add tomatoes if you have them. And if you blend up the tomatoes, it will give the soup a red color. So let's have a taste. Look at that, guys. Look at that. Guys, that is good. It's like a creamy, oh, it's just good. You can taste all the herbs. You can taste the stock. You can taste all the vegetables individually. I love the creamy consistency that the potatoes give without adding any milk or milk products. Again, if you don't mind adding cream to your soup, heavy cream, sour cream, or even adding milk, you don't have to worry about the step of blending up your pre-steamed potatoes. You can just place them into the soup and add the cream as you would see fit. When it comes to measuring, the only thing that I measured when it came to this soup was the stock and the pepper. And the reason why I measured the pepper is because I use coarse ground pepper, and I'm not going to be the only one eating this, so I didn't want it to be too hot for everyone. So guys, make sure you are enjoying, sorry, I covered up my whole face. Make sure that you are enjoying the fruits of your labor. Enjoy your hard work. Everything that you have worked towards, everything that you've been doing, enjoy it. There's no need to take the time out of your busy life to grow vegetables, planting seeds, and doing all those different things just to throw it away or just to add more to your compost pile. Make sure you're enjoying it. And if you grew something and you didn't enjoy it, pass it on to a neighbor, pass it on to a family member, because they may enjoy it. And before I end this video, I want to give a few shout outs, and then I want you guys, make sure you like, share, and subscribe and continue to grow our garden family. I would like to say a super thanks to my favorite island family, the Humble Servants Homestead. They're right here in Georgia. I want to say thank you to Farmer Q at Lioncrest, as well as Kiki Soto at Urban Girl Gardening. You guys saw my video where I had the gardening tragedy. I didn't know what was going on out there, but those three came to my rescue within a matter of 30 minutes, and they either emailed me or they commented and continuously commented to make sure that everything went okay with the garden. They gave me different suggestions on what I needed to do to straighten everything out, and as of right now, things are working out. I have not had the issue anymore. I am going to do an update on that. And as well, I haven't forgot you, Farmer Q. I'm going to send you some pictures of the JMS solution that you sent me to add healthy microbes to my soil to combat any of the other issues. And Humble Servants Homestead, I'm doing a little bit more measuring when it comes to my fertilizer so I don't burn anything. But thank you guys, and remember, have faith in your food.